Hello and welcome to this special ZBC Current Affairs program. My name is Justin Mahlahla and today we are joined by Mr. Douglas Mwonzora. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself as well as tell us which party exactly he belongs to. Mr. Mwonzora, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. My name is Douglas Mwonzora. I'm Senator for Manicaland for the MDC. The MDC that was left by Morgan Tsvangirai, the only MDC that is there in Zimbabwe. This is because the other MDC by Professor Sir Walsh Mengcube, led by Professor Sir Walsh Mengcube, dissolved. So we only have one MDC party in Zimbabwe. This MDC-T is the party that belonged to a group of political parties, the MDC Alliance. We went into the election in 2018 as 7 political parties forming a coalition. So we signed a pre-election pact, a non-compete election pact. So where our alliance partners fielded a member of parliament, we would not field, and vice versa. So we are members of the MDC Alliance, but the party that we belong to is the MDC, which was formerly led by Morgan Tsvangirai.
Mr. Mwonzora, you're actually an enigma yourself. People always ask and wonder, where does Mr. Douglas Mwonzora stand? You have mentioned that you belong to the MDC. You have also mentioned that you are members of the MDC Alliance. Does the Alliance still exist, and does the MDC still exist as we know it?
Well, the Alliance, the MDC Alliance is made up of 7 members. And one cannot be, as an individual, cannot be a member of the MDC Alliance. So it has only 7 members. The MDC-T, PDP, MDC led by Walsh Mengcube, the Multiracial Christian Democrats, Transform Zimbabwe, ZANU Ndonga, and the Zimbabwe People First. These are the parties that make the MDC Alliance. The MDC Alliance agreement says that the alliance will continue if one of the parties wins a presidential election and forms a government, in which case the alliance agreement gives rise to a coalition government. That was the aim. So if we had won the election and if we had formed a government, we would have formed a coalition government. Now, you don't form a coalition government by one political party. You form a coalition government because there are more than one political parties. Unfortunately, if you don't form a political party, because the alliance agreement is an election pact, it ceases to exist at the end of the election.
In other words, the alliance does not exist anymore.
The alliance as a political party does not exist. I have heard some people saying that they formed an alliance, the MDC Alliance Party. Now, there's a difference between the MDC Alliance and the MDC Alliance Party. I do not know of the party called MDC Alliance Party. It does not exist. I do not know where its offices are. I do not know whether it has a constitution or not, but I don't think it has a constitution. So we do not have a political party like that.
So we have a ruling, the constitution that prevailed in 2016. And then we have the 2020 Supreme Court ruling that nullifies what took place in 2016. And yet you went along with what happened in 2016. You are also supporting the Supreme Court ruling of 2020. Don't you think you are sort of flip-flopping, between judgments or between principles here?
In 2016, I made it clear to President Tsvangirai. I made it clear to the National Council of the party. I made it clear even to Advocate Chamisa that what was happening was unconstitutional.
But you went
so I spoke about it within the party, and in my capacity as Secretary-General, it is my duty to advise the party. But when you advise the party, you don't go public about it. We hoped that this thing was going to be resolved. And in fact, President Tsvangirai tried to resolve it by then advising the people in Bulawayo in particular that the 3 vice presidents did not rank the same. He also went on to give Advocate Chamisa, Engineer Mzuri specific tasks. Advocate Chamisa was going to be responsible for, I think, information policy. and Engineer Mzuri was going to deal with local government and some aspects of organizing. That's unlike a real vice president. A real vice president steps automatically in the shoes of the president if the president is not there. But these people were people with specific mandates, and therefore with their qualified mandates, it was okay with us. But to then say that they ranked the same with an elected vice president did not make political sense. I understood at that point in time that President Tsvangirai wasn't feeling well and wasn't discharging his duty of supervising key portfolios within the party well. And his logic, at least as stated to me, was to be more effective in supervision. And this is what these vice presidents were doing.
We actually say, well, Mwonzora is now happy with the Supreme Court ruling because this is perhaps his chance to get back at those people who sidelined him at the 2019 Congress.
Certainly not. Certainly not. The Constitution was written at the formation of the party. So when everybody joined the party, they were joining a party with certain values. I haven't invented anything. These values are there. They are there in Article 3, in Article 4 for people to read. In our rallies, in our public meetings, we talk of constitutionalism. We talk of the rule of law. We criticize others about constitutionalism and rule of law. These are values that we must live. So democracy must not be a mere ideal. It must be a way of life.
What now is the way forward for the party in terms of observing or reinforcing the ruling of the Supreme Court?
The MDC, the Supreme Court judgment does not pose any existential danger to the MDC, because what the Supreme Court simply did was to pronounce, I think, 4 things. The first thing was that it confirmed which document was the constitution of the MDC. And that was critically important, because you would have a situation where you have a lot of documents flying around now that we have too many lawyers within the party. The second thing is that it then nullified the appointments done by President Tsvangirai. People
That also means there are others we're going to with Chamisa and so forth. And
the sector is to the MDC Mwonzora, MDC Mwonzora. Follow their party, they must follow the code. Are individuals.
Very good statement to say to your colleagues. But right now we have members
The constitution. But what is more argued on review first of all, I have in forward. In public. This formally led by Tsvangirai. In terms of clause 10A, political eligible leaders of the constitution.
You think the rift that appears to be there between
No, there's party to the drafting of the alliance agreement with me. Three of for
Mr. Mwonzora, for giving us your time.